Apule. The state chairman of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Honorable Solomon Areyinka, has charged members of the Unique Ladies, a women pressure group in the PDP, not to relent.
The PDP chairman said he was impressed with the caliber of women in the group and their vision, and pledged to support them as a pressure group in the party. Honorable Areyinka enjoined the group to continue to work with the party's leadership at the state and local government for the greater good of the party.
Unique in dressing, unique in color separation, unique in mobilization, unique in speech presentation.
The national coordinator and advisor, Unique Ladies for Sheriff, Chief Nkem Okwafu, said the visit was to
and that we are not a parallel program to its existing executive. Hence, we are all loyal to the state woman leader.
Chief Okwafu said the group was made up of elected and appointed ladies of the party, stressing that their mission was to galvanize support for the governor beyond 2027. She described Governor Sheriff Oborevwori as a promise keeper in the provision of democracy dividends to all parts of the state. A vote of confidence was later passed in Governor Sheriff Oborevwori and the state leadership of the party, following a motion moved by the State Commissioner for Women Affairs, Community and Social Development, Honorable Pat Ajudwa, seconded by Honorable Irene Imila, and put into voice vote by the national coordinator of the group, Chief Okwafu, before it was unanimously endorsed. Ejime Uduime reporting.
Journalists and other media workers have been charged to uphold the tenets of the broadcasting profession, especially balanced reporting. The State Commissioner for Works, Rural Roads and Public Information, Mr. Charles Saniago, gave the charge when a delegation from 2 trade unions endowed Broadcasting Service DBS Asaba, the Nigerian Union of Journalists NUJ, and the Radio, Television and Theatre Arts Workers Union RATAO visited him in Asaba. Esther Oputa reports.
Delivery and be passionate in the discharge of their duties. He said the state government would work towards making the station improve its services in line with the developmental vision of the Governor Sheriff Oborevwori administration. Mr. Niago enjoined the media practitioners to avoid inciting contents that could cause unrest in the state, stressing that more dividends of democracy will be delivered to the people by the present administration.
It's a symbiotic relationship. So when you also go the medium, if there's anything you can also do for the medium, the same way the medium has given you power, do it.
The chairman of the NUJ DBS Asaba Chapel, Comrade Pere Botu, and the chairman of the RATAO DBS, Comrade Godwin Soje, said the visit was to felicitate with the commissioner on his reappointment to the Ministry of Information, while pledging support of the unions to the state government.
We want to sincerely appreciate you for this great opportunity and this is a platform that we talk minds on how we can promote policies of government and vis-a-vis how we can also enhance what we are presently doing in DBS Asaba. We want to also congratulate you because it's the first time we're meeting with you officially at our assignment to the Ministry of Information. Yeah, we want to say your good work definitely has spoken for you. I believe that the confidence that the governor has in you will also show in what DBS return has been.
I want to one more time thank you for all that you've done, even during the last time that you were our commissioner, and now that you're back, we believe that yes, DBS is going to be a brand to the state.
The union leaders expressed confidence that Mr. Niago would work hard to improve the fortunes of the broadcast station. Esther Oputa reporting.
The chief advisor to the state governor, Chief Iyoyota Amori, has called on Christian leaders to participate in politics in order not to leave governance for persons who do not share the values of righteousness and accountability. He made a remark in Asaba while receiving a delegation from the Christian Political Leaders Forum, CPLF, led by its national coordinator, Evangelist Emeke Egwanimkwe. Chief Amori commended the CPLF for mobilizing Christians for political engagement, noting that the misconception that politics is a dirty game had long discouraged many from participating. He acknowledged the role of the Christian community in political appointments, citing the emergence of faith-driven leaders in government positions. The Ndukwa East Local Government Inter-Primary Schools Chairman's Unity Cup football competition will commence on Friday at Abo Grammar School, Abo. A statement signed by the local government supervisor for environment, youth and sports, Honorable Okowa Ezechi, listed participating primary schools to include Adofi, Umweze, Umweleke, Umuno, Olo, Okolori, Etitiafo, Etimuku, Community Afo, Amenyi, Abara Community Abara, Eza, Nnobia, Onwabo, Umuagolo, Umum, Ujem, Onwala, Oluchi, Odigwe, Obodoyibo, Metu, Beneku, Akatolo, Akoba, Njikoka, Abalagada, Atoko, Abuato, Isenokpo, Akara Obodo, Akara Etiti. Others are Isike, Onyeme, Uge, Odume, Ogweji 1 and 2, Ukwonuku, Otuonunu, Ishiogbe, Edero, Anieze, Adiaye Obiaka, Ebenezer, Egbeme, Idumeze, Niger, Obioma, Ekpe, Edeni, Ashafo, Egbedi, Ibrede, Ibuku, Odo, Oboko, Orewo, Iselegu, Otutuge, Uzobe, Ozomuku, Ogene, Onude, Oduga, Ashaka, Osikbo, and Obaluchi. The chairman of the local government, Chief Vincent Osilonya, said the competition would enable them discover young football talents. While calling on the people to support the pupils, Chief Osilonya said the grand finale of the competition would hold on 4th of April at the Ashaka Primary School, Ashaka. President Bola Tinubu has blamed Rivers State Governor Mr. Siminalayi Fubara for the ongoing political crisis in the state. Speaking during a nationwide broadcast yesterday, he expressed concern over the inability of political actors in Rivers State to reach an agreement for the past. He noted that despite interventions from himself and other stakeholders, the president also referenced what he called the latest security reports from the state, particularly incidents of pipeline vandalism, stating that the governor had failed to address the issue. Tinubu declared a state of emergency in Rivers State yesterday, citing the non-functionality of the legislative arm of government as the reason for his decision. He appointed retired Vice Admiral Ibok Ete-Ibas to take over the administrative functions of the state. The suspended Rivers State Governor, Mr. Siminalayi Fubara, has urged the people of the state to remain calm in the face of the political impasse in the state. Mr. Fubara, in a statement, said since assuming office, all his actions and decisions have been guided by his constitutional oath of office and a great sense of duty. According to him, the steps were taken not for personal gains, but to foster peace, unity, and stability in the state. President Bola Tinubu had yesterday declared a state of emergency in the oil-rich South state. He also slammed a 6-month suspension on Mr. Fubara, his deputy, and the state lawmakers. President Tinubu, in a nationwide broadcast, said it was to restore stability in the state that had been witnessing political turmoil as a result of the disagreement between the state governor and the state lawmakers. The president appointed retired Vice Admiral Ibok Ete-Ibas as the state administrator to oversee governance. The Senate today suspended its plenary and announced that the debate on the state of emergency imposed on Rivers State by President Bola Tinubu has been shifted to Thursday. The postponement was announced after the Senate leadership delayed the commencement of its plenary for about 2 hours when the majority of the 7 senators across party lines had not fully taken their seats. The debate was delayed without much explanation when the Senate leader, Senator Opeyemi Bamidele, APC Ekiti Central, who sponsored the motion, moved to step it down by citing Order 1B of the Senate Standing Orders 2023 as amended. The motion was seconded by the minority leader, Senator Abba Moro, PDP, Benue South, and the chamber moved on to the next item without debate. The motion, as proposed by Senator Bamidele, expresses apprehension over the deteriorating security situation in Rivers State. To approve the declaration, the Senate requires a 2/3 majority, 73 out of 109 senators, to allow the state of emergency to stand. The Senate has confirmed the appointment of 4 persons to serve as members of the Police Service Commission, PSC, PSC earlier sent to it by President Bola Tinubu. The confirmation followed a detailed report by the Senate Committee on Police Affairs chaired by Senator Malam Maduri Ahmed Abdul Hamid, representing Jigawa East Senatorial District. The committee chairman urged senators to approve the members, stating that they had been screened and were competent to serve as members of the Police Service Commission. The confirmed members are retired Justice Paul Galumje, Alhaji Abdul Fattah Mohammed, DIG Obaringim, Justice Christine Dapope. The Abia State House of Assembly has passed a resolution urging the state government to approve 21 days paternity leave for male public and civil servants whose wives put to bed to support them in catering for the new babies. This followed the presentation and consideration of a motion sponsored by Deputy Majority Leader Honorable Matthias Ume. The motion, which generated heated debate on the floor of the House, was later adopted with modification as announced by the Speaker, Honorable Emmanuel Emerowa. The sponsor of the motion, Honorable Ume, said paternity leave to male civil servants would enable them to support their wives' childbirth and in taking care of the newborn, as well as enhance parental bonding, among others. A federal government visitation panel on Nigeria's prisons across the country has said the conditions of the prisons and their inmates are still terrible and unbearable. The visitation panel, headed by Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Mr. Lawale Faponda, revealed that most inmates were languishing in prisons due to lack of legal representation and the inability of the Legal Aid Council to cope with huge number of cases. Submitting the report of the panel to the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Prince Lateef Fagbemi, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Faponda, said that while auditing the prisons, they had interfaced with categories of inmates and found their conditions unpalatable. Besides lack of legal representation, Mr. Fagbonda said most of the inmates were suffering ailments that the prison authorities could not bear the cost of medication. The Minister of State for Defense, Mr. Bello Matawalle, has expressed his strong support for President Bola Tinubu's declaration of a state of emergency. In a statement, Mr. Matawalle said the decisive action was vital for restoring stability to the state's turbulent political landscape. He asserted that the emergency rule was a necessary measure to address the ongoing political crisis which had hindered the delivery of democratic governance and the welfare of the people of Rivers State. Yes, reflecting on the President's address regarding the state of emergency, the Minister acknowledged the gravity of the political crisis in Rivers State and the urgent need for intervention. Mr. Matawalle highlighted the unfortunate demolition of the House of Assembly by the state governor, which had left the state without a functioning legislature for over 14 months. You're watching Delta Television Main News at 8. Still to come, Mayor of Istanbul detained before.
When you're low on energy and need a break, give yourself a treat. Cadbury Hot Chocolate. Smooth. Crafted from cocoa, milk, and sugar. Creamy, chocolatey, frothy goodness.
Data. How you share and how you recharge. Movies, gaming, music. Only one place. Welcome to More Valley. Download the upgraded Glow Cafe app and get more data. Get 100% recharge bonus and get a massive 100 gigabytes data bonus when you register. Want it all? Download all this into this. Unlimited.
Welcome back. The global scene is next as we join our World News Desk.
Russia and Ukraine have launched airstrikes, damaging each other's infrastructure, after the Russian President, Mr. Vladimir Putin, rejected a U.S. proposal for a 30-day ceasefire. Ukrainian officials and Russian forces carried out drone attacks on 2 hospitals in Ukraine's northern Sumy region. Mr. Putin agreed to a 30-day pause in attacks on energy infrastructure during a call with the United States President, Mr. Donald Trump, but rejected a fuller ceasefire. Mr. Trump was ready to cajole Ukraine into backing a 30-day ceasefire, but he was not yet willing to threaten Russia when it failed to do the same. The U.S. envoy, Mr. Steve Witkoff, said talks on Ukraine will continue on Sunday in Saudi Arabia. During the call yesterday, President Putin and President Trump also agreed that Ukraine and Russia would swap 175 prisoners each. The mayor of Istanbul has been detained as part of a Turkish corruption investigation, just days before he was due to be selected as a presidential candidate. Mr. Ekrem İmamoğlu from the Secular Republican People's Party (CHP) is seen as one of Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan's strongest political rivals. Prosecutors said he was accused of being a criminal organization leader suspect. Authorities detained 100 suspects, including other politicians, journalists, and businessmen. The investigation, and the Istanbul governor's office had imposed 4 days of restrictions in the city. Mr. İmamoğlu wrote on social media that the will of the people could not be silenced and pledged to stand resolute for the people of Turkey and all who uphold democracy and justice worldwide. The arrest came as part of a major crackdown on opposition figures nationwide in recent months. Critics had condemned the moves as politically motivated. President Erdogan in power for 22 years and his party had denied the claim, insisting that Turkey's judiciary was independent. The Democratic Republic of Congo's President Felix Tshisekedi and his Rwandan counterpart Paul Kagame have called for an immediate ceasefire in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo after having direct talks in Qatar. It is the first time 2 leaders have met since Rwanda-backed M23 rebels stepped up an offensive in the region, where authorities said 7,000 people have been killed since January. It is unclear whether the M23 would heed the ceasefire call after the rebels refused to attend peace talks in Angola yesterday. The Democratic Republic of Congo accused Rwanda of arming the M23 and sending troops to support the rebels in the conflict. Despite assertions from both the UN and US, Rwanda has denied supporting the M23. Rwanda has said its forces are acting on self-defense against the Democratic Republic of Congo Army and allied militias. Democratic Republic of Congo also accused Rwanda of illegally exploiting its mineral deposits in the east of the country, which Rwanda also denies.
Away from the foreign scene and back home, we'll now join our business news desk for happenings in the business sector.
The Naira remained stable in the black markets today, despite concerns that the recent oil pipeline explosion could impact the exchange rate. In the parallel markets, the Naira saw a slight depreciation of about 1 Naira, with the dollar quoted at an average rate of 1,579 Naira today, compared to 1,580 Naira yesterday. In certain areas of Lagos, the dollar was exchanged at 1,575 Naira per dollar, while some traders offered it at rates of 1,577 Naira and 1,580 Naira per dollar. Against other major currencies, the Naira gained 10 Naira as the pound was quoted at 2,040 Naira today, the same as yesterday, and slightly stronger than Monday's rate of 2,050 Naira. The local currency also traded at 1,710 Naira per euro today, compared to 1,700 Naira per euro yesterday. Meanwhile, the Canadian dollar remained steady at 1,150 Naira, while the Chinese yuan traded at 1,215 Naira in the black markets. A recent explosion on the Trans-Niger pipeline, one of Nigeria's most critical oil pipelines, led to significant disruptions and raised concerns over a temporary shutdown due to the explosion and fire. It has resolved to investigate the delayed payment of the conditional cash transfer funds to Nigerians. This decision followed the adoption of a motion presented by Representative Abbas Adigun, PDP Oyo State, during a plenary session held today in Abuja. In his motion, Honorable Adigun highlighted that the federal government, in collaboration with the World Bank, launched the Social Safety Net program for Nigeria in September 2016. The initiative is implemented through the National Cash Transfer Office, which oversees the Household Uplifting Program, conditional cash transfers designed to support poor and vulnerable households nationwide. Honorable Adigun explained that the program forms part of the federal government's broader growth and social inclusion strategies aimed at addressing critical social challenges. In response, the Deputy Speaker, Honorable Benjamin Kalu, directed the Committee on Poverty Alleviation and Humanitarian Affairs to investigate the delays in payments and submit a report within 4 weeks for further legislative action. The program faced a setback in January last year when President Bola Tinubu suspended it due to allegations of corruption.
And in sports, the chairman of the Delta State Sports Commission, Mr. Onoriode Obrewori, has given an assurance of the Commission's commitment to the development of referees in the state. Mr. Obrewori stated this in Asaba when he received the Delta State Football Referees Council. He said the Commission was keen in contributing to the growth and development of the Nigerian sports, especially putting Delta State in key management positions in the Nigerian sports sector. The chairman of Delta State's Football Referees Council, Mr. Ejo Dimas, expressed satisfaction with Mr. Obrewori's leadership style, especially working for grassroots sports development, adding that the State Referees Council needed the support of the Commission to become more effective in officiating matches. He appealed for support for the referees' annual physical fitness retreat to ensure referees maintain the level of top-tier officiating on the continent. He also appealed for the provision of logistics for referees and assessors to attend fitness tests in Abuja and help Delta State secure executive roles in the Nigeria Referees Association in a bid to strengthen the association's decision-making. Our thoughts for the day. The greatest glory in living lies not in falling, but in rising every time we fall. Our highlights The state chairman of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Honorable Solomon Areika, has charged members of the Unique Ladies, a woman pressure group in the PDP, not to relent in promoting the policies and programs of the state governor, the Right Honorable Sheriff Oborewori. Honorable Areika gave the charge when the group led by Chief Nkemo Kwofu visited him at the party secretariat in Asaba. We reported that journalists and other media workers have been charged to uphold the tenets of broadcasting profession, especially balanced reporting. The State Commissioner for Works, Rural Roads and Public Information, Mr. Charles Aniago, gave the charge when a delegation from the two trade unions in Delta Broadcasting Service, DBS Asaba, Nigerian Union of Journalists, NUJ, and the Radio, Television and Theatre Arts Workers Union, RATAU, visited him in Asaba. Also reported that President Bola Tinubu has blamed Rivers State Governor Mr. Siminalayi Fubara for the ongoing political crisis in the state. Speaking during a nationwide broadcast yesterday, he expressed concern over the inability of the political actors in Rivers State to reach an agreement and ensure peace. And abroad, Mayor of Istanbul detained before he was due to be selected as a presidential candidate. And that's our news tonight on Delta Television. Thank you very much for watching. I am Pauline Okoli. Good night.